So in what ways, and you kind of already touched on this, but in what ways is RailcarRx different than your previous provider? You already mentioned that there's more reporting, more flexibility, but what other areas too, in terms of functionality, do you think you've gained advantages?
The metrics and the dashboards and things like that, the metrics that you're able to provide. And I mean, there's not a ton of them, but just to be able to be aware of how many cars are in my yard at any given moment, what's my backlog of work, how many approved estimates do I have, how many rail cars are waiting to be repaired, what's my backlog of labor hours that helps me plan in the future. So really those tools from a management perspective are much superior to ExpressYard. The technology is just more modern and more user-friendly in general. The way it is set up, the look and feel is just far superior. And it allows our guys at our shop to basically, they live within RX every single day. We don't need to have any other sort of bolt-on systems. The electronic car file, everything is there. We can minimize the amount of paper that's floating around. There's other functionality within RX that we have yet to actually fully implement, but at least we know that it's there. And it's more on us on the operational side to make sure that we get our guys to change the way they do things. But the beauty of it with RX is we know that it's there already. We don't have to ask somebody to develop it, right? We just have to choose to use it. So.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, he refers to the electronic car file. So, and that's unique to RailcarRx. But basically, it takes away the need to have that manila folder in a lot of cases where you're, putting information into and saying, here was a shopping event for this car. So we can store, and Greg, you could probably attest this, estimates, every version of the estimate, every version of the invoice, images, if you want to take images and share them with the customers. And then I don't know, do you guys utilize it any other ways too? Are you adding other information or anything for the shopping event at the electronic car file?
Those key items, obviously, quote, estimate, invoice, all those are the key elements. But you can add photos, you can do other things. The inspection sheets.
You can share pictures of yourself with the customer, and then they can, glamour shots of yourself.
That's right.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. All right. So any other things you want to add on there in terms of, functionality wise that were different, or things that have really helped you out over time? I know that, you're doing TTX work at one point in time and working with them and working with their equipment. Were there any other areas?
The ability to generate the 500-bit files in slightly different formats to accommodate different customers is also huge. You guys have done a bit more homework there, it seems. And I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but with the pool of customers that we have, every once in a while we get a customer like a GATX, for example, where the 500-bit file has to be a little bit different, or you guys, even if it's not there right now, the beauty of it is that you guys are willing to work with us to make sure that functionality is available in the future.